Okay, Tom, this is what you need to tell Aaron Rodgers to do.
Okay.
On the plane.
All right.
And then you're going to win. It's really easy.
Is my team better yet?
Yeah. Keep going.
I feel... Oh, baby, we here.
We steer
you in the right direction. It's the Grossi Perna Show. Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, GPS. And one of us is happy today.
Well, yes.
Or
yes.
Slightly less depressed than usual.
Yeah, no. It's fitting that this game was in London because it was the tale of two Broncos teams, much like the great Charles Dickens novel, A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
Yep.
I was at a low point after the first quarter of that football game. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see some very negative tweets about this being the worst football team I've ever seen. And then the Broncos go out and beat the Jaguars, and it felt like we won the GD Super Bowl, Tom. Offense worked. 3 touchdowns in a single game. So,
which is madness.
Yeah, it was like, what is going on here? And they get a win. Obviously, it's not super impressive against the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, another young QB, not living up to the hype quite yet, but I'm going to take it, man. I'm going to pretend like we just beat the Chiefs because this is what this team needed.
Yeah.
And the Packers did not win, but you were playing the Bills. Even if the Packers were playing well this season, we'd be like, oh, this is a tough game.
Sure.
Not guaranteed to win. I know Packers country is sad today.
I'm not as sad, though.
Like, because you saw something last night, right?
I did. I saw lots of things, and I'm not trying to, get high on hopium here, but this is the best I have felt about this team in a month. Truly. Because, I mean, they played the Patriots. They beat the Patriots, but, it wasn't impressive. But I was like, okay, whatever, they did. They've lost now 4 straight, but the game against the Giants, they didn't show up in the second half. You have the Jets game, which they completely collapsed in the second half. And then you have last week against the Commanders, which is just blatantly infuriating.
Yes.
So this game, I think a lot of Packers fans went in it with 0 expectations. And we're like, listen, this is the best team in the league, right? That you're going up against. It's at home on Sunday night. The Packers are a very struggling football. They're a struggling football team. And it's just, there's things that I can hold on to and be like, yes, this is a blueprint to win. Packers controlled time of possession. The fact that they were running the ball really well and ran for over 200 yards. These are good things that Packers fans have been screaming at the Packers team to do. And they finally did it. Now, was the situation for it to do that right? No. I mean, but then again, the fact that the Bills were able to put up 27 points, I think 32 plays is absolutely insane. So
a point per play, that's the Bills' way.
They were running down 14, but again, they showed that they could run it well. Give the ball to your superstar, which is Aaron Jones. Romeo Doubs made some big plays. The defense held the Bills to 3 points in the second half and had 2 turnovers. So, whether it's Josh Allen playing with his food or the defense actually stepping up, I think the point is that there are building blocks here. And I think the division right now, the Vikings are obviously 6-1. They're in a great spot. And while they're not playing the best, they are winning. So it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. They could have this division wrapped up by the end of November. But the Packers are in a really weak conference. And if they're able to take the building blocks that they established last night and apply that to other teams who are not going to be as good as the Bills, maybe they can win some football games.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about a lot of the young quarterbacks who are not playing well. We'll get to all of that. And I watched the Bills-Packers game last night, and that game probably would have been, the final score would have been more indicative of, I just think, how dominant the Bills offense can be had Josh Allen not thrown two god-awful interceptions. It was just Josh Allen trying to force in a couple plays in the second half that he didn't need to. And that obviously helped the Packers in terms of the final score, and I think maybe the overall narrative of the game. And my takeaway came sort of after the football game, though, because the Packers were running the ball well. And it's something we've talked about through the course of this season, one of the issues for both of our football teams.
Sure.
And it's still the thing that, like, if the Broncos come out after their bye and their offense looks like garbage again, it's going to be because they can't run the football and they can't get big plays out of the run game. But what I saw after the Packers game, that doesn't make any sense to me. And these are the football analysts, the experts. Green Bay rushes for over 200 yards.
Yeah.
And a lot of those rushing yards came when, the Packers were down. But they were getting criticized all of a sudden for running too much.
Correct.
And it is so funny how when you're losing, no matter what you do, it is the wrong freaking answer. And I saw the Packers get some really big chunk yard plays out of the run game.
Yep.
That's the same as a freaking pass. Like a 12 or 13 yard run is the same as a 7-yard slant route that goes for 12 or 13. The fact that they were moving the ball, the fact that the Bills were playing, probably to protect the pass first, and the Packers took advantage of it. Yes, a little more clock's going to come off, but I agree with you. Like, use that blueprint, keep running the damn ball so that teams have to respect that, and that will open up the rest of your passing game. But I was like, man, Packers fans are getting what Broncos fans have been getting all season, but it's all just been Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything he does is wrong on and off the field. And then the Packers do one thing really well, and people are like, shouldn't be running the ball that much, fucking idiots. What are you doing? And then I saw Jack Collinsworth after the game say, Josh, it's not like Josh Allen has a bunch of weapons in the passing game. I was like, what? What football are you watching?
Yeah.
He's got some of the best weapons in the league. So,
and again, like, I think we can criticize the timing of it, right? And it's like when you're down 14 or like the fact that it's week 8 and now you're finally going, you know what? Since the Bears game where Aaron Jones went off, maybe we should allow him to do it again. And I think like that could be criticized, but the Packers like had a good game plan because the whole thing with the Bills, like you have to keep that offense off the field, right? The offense is just too good. That's why they're able to score so many points in so little plays. So I don't know, man. Like there's things that are definitely with the defense still, while they did hold him to 3 points, Quay Walker getting ejected because he pushed a Bills coach on the sideline who looked like he was helping him up. So he's our rookie first-round pick that we just got this year, and that didn't go over well. Then you had Devondre Campbell, who got hurt, so he basically had no one over the middle. Darnell Savage continued to struggle. Adrian Amos didn't have the best night either. So
somehow you guys played better, though, without those guys on defense.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's maybe just because that's the thing, though. But if they hand the ball off, like Singletary was like ripping chunk plays too. And it was only like they decided to weirdly throw the ball when they were up so much that he threw those picks. And I'm like, I don't even know why they're doing that. You could just run the ball and probably be successful. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot to improve on still, but I'm not as angry as I have been for the past month watching this.
Me neither.
Team.
Hey, look at that.
So that's nice.
Look, it's Monday morning, and we're not really angry with our football team. Hey, not bad.
You actually got some joy out of it. I saw that stream. The stream was rocking.
Dude, that's my best stream of my life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to thank you and the Grossi Posse because, Tom decided not to stream in the morning, which means Grossi Posse showed up. And they were super supportive. It was, like, insane to have almost 9,000 live people And then I popped into your stream in the first quarter, and you're at 10,000 people already. I'm like, damn it, Tom is king. But being queen felt good. I'll just say that. Yeah, it like, even if the Broncos lost, I was so just pumped about that stream, and like I couldn't even keep up with the super chats.
Yep.
But like people were keeping me motivated even when it was bad, and then they win, and we had, I don't know, man. I was on a high yesterday.
Yeah.
Motivated me to work through the rest of the day. Got a Broncos video up. And then it also probably felt good because we've been potty training all weekend, which is not easy. And we made some progress, but appreciate it. I appreciate it all.
Well, real quick, before we continue, you said you're getting on a little bit of a high. Well, yeah. There's something for you that you need to see. Rachel has put together yet another design for one Brandon Perna. And just to recap, first, we had the Russell Wilson corn. Second, we had the Danger Witch featuring Russell Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the high knee Russell Wilson.
Oh my God.
For you to see during your night terrors.
Rachel, amazing.
But yeah, this is both.
Like, I don't think I can sell shirts with Russell Wilson's face on it, but I did have Johnny bang out these for me last night.
Dude, I love that. I love that one.
The airplane one?
Yeah, that's so clean.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Johnny, Rachel, you guys are all amazing. I put a link for those if anybody dare purchase a Russell Wilson high knees thing, but I wish I could put this on a shirt. But I know Russell Wilson would sue me.
Oh, he's going to sue you. Like,
he would sue me, and then he would make me listen to all of his rehabbing of his body. I would not be able to watch. I would just have to listen to the sounds of Russell Wilson rehabbing.
That's it. All right. We got, speaking of, you also had another good day because the Raiders.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, the Raiders got shut out. Rachel likes that too. Rachel and I enjoying a Raiders shutout.
There you go. Yeah, can't push people on the sideline. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Not a good look.
Not something you could do. So, Dylan, no, I think that Aaron Jones is just the feature back. I don't think Dylan has had the best of seasons this year, but I mean, like, he's still good for like a good strong run every now and then. But yeah, we'll start with that. The Raiders getting shut out, and I stupidly picked the Raiders to win, and that was a whiff. It's just fascinating that this team can look so good, and they're like running the ball well, and like the defense is playing well, and then they put up 0 points. And Derek Carr, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. Oh, wait, yes, I do. His name's Josh McDaniels, and he's an effing moron.
Tell me how you really feel, buddy.
You hired the dumbest coach on earth, Las Vegas. That's the problem. Fire McDaniels was trending again. The fact that they don't know how to use Devontae Adams consistently doesn't make any sense.
Hey, he had 3 yards.
Yeah. I think, wasn't he like, he was battling the flu too or something?
Yeah, he's sick.
I don't know.
He is sick, yeah.
But still, it's so, like, it doesn't make sense. But a lot of things don't make sense in the NFL this year. If I'm going to give the Raiders a little bit of hope, it's a weird year in football, okay? Nothing makes sense. The Broncos just got a win. Nobody saw that coming. The Packers, the Bucks, the Broncos, all 3-5.
Falcons are leading their division.
The Falcons are leading. Yeah. The Panthers should have won on a Hail Mary, and then they get flagged because DJ Moore takes his helmet off. Justin Simmons got flagged for taunting in the game. That's like the nicest guy on not just the Broncos, maybe Earth. And I don't know what he said to get taunting. All the young quarterbacks suck. So maybe just hold on till next season, Raiders fans. What doesn't make sense is Like the Saints were giving up so many points on defense the last few weeks.
Yep.
Like I was like, the one thing the Saints had going for them was a really good defense. I was like, that's gone.
Correct.
And then they shut out the Raiders.
Did they get Lattimore back? I didn't watch the game. I just saw he got shut out because like I know that they had a bunch of injuries and like Lattimore had been out. I wonder if he was playing.
I don't know if they got him back. Oh yeah, I did want to ask you about, because Diggs was all up in Jair Alexander's face before the
running
game.
out of the tunnel. They were literally like jawing
it was
at each
hilarious.
other.
I was like, oh my God, I want to see this every week. But like, is there any backstory there? Do those guys, because to me, that felt like it came out of nowhere. And then I just saw like Diggs was going after him. Gabe Davis was going after Jair.
Oh, yeah, they did not like Jair Alexander.
No,
like, they did not.
And it's not like Jair Alexander's one of these known players to be like
I got you,
getting in dudes' faces. You remember, like, was it Cortland Finnegan?
Yeah,
was always just talking trash, and then Andre Johnson and him get into that big fight.
Yep.
Jair just seems like a good corner that all of a sudden Diggs and Gabe Davis treated like he was the biggest trash talker on earth. I was like, where did this?
I hate you so much. It's always the Dementors.
Prison Mike, always
the Dementors. Always.
The Dementors.
I want to show you this because I don't know if you saw this. So they interviewed Jair Alexander after the game.
I didn't see this.
Okay, to talk about it. Just give me 10 seconds. It's uploading. Because Jair is like known as like the guy who does yoga and like talks, and he does trash talk like from time to time. And the way that he just like subtly destroys Stephon Diggs via words is kind of amazing. He's just like, there was like, what did you say to him? And he's just like, I just told him the truth that he's a little boy. Like, it's amazing. So here is here you go.
That's
ready
funny.
For this? All right.
The tunnel with you and Stephon Diggs. What happened in the tunnel before the game when you guys yelling at each other going on the field?
Man, I was just keeping it real with him. Told him he couldn't mess with me, he a little boy. So that's all that was. Just being honest, you feel me? That's all I can do.
He said he didn't know who started it, but he said he finished it. What's your reaction?
I don't know what he mean by that. I need more clarification.
Do you know who started it?
No. I don't either. I finished it.
How do you feel about your matchups with him dating back to your days with Minnesota? How would you characterize them?
I mean, I always thought he was a decent receiver. But, you know, I don't really got much else to say about him.
Like, it is so, because like obviously they have a history because when Stephon was in for playing for the Vikings, but it was such like a, I just told him the truth. He's a little boy and he can't hang with me, and you know, it's just like I think he's a decent receiver.
Yeah, that's like the quietest trash talking I've ever heard.
It really is. It's just like, yeah, I think, you know, I don't think he's really that good.
It's like if Ned Flanders started talking trash.
I love it so much, though. I do. I love Jair Alexander. He's just great.
You know what's really funny there is this is just like, I love athletes' egos because both of them after the game said they got the best of the other guy.
Yep. Accurate.
Yeah. Well, you both can't be right about that. You both can't be right. And I think I felt like Alexander was on Gabe Davis more frequently than Diggs. So
yes. And do you know why that makes sense? It doesn't.
Fair enough.
It doesn't.
Fair enough.
I don't know why. Joe Barry, explain it to me, please. Please explain. Like, because listen, he was on Scary Terry, and Scary Terry beat him on 2, including a touchdown last week. And it's just like, you know, really good player against really good player. But I don't know why. I don't know why. Don't know.
Scary Terry just needed Taylor Heineke to throw him the ball frequently. Like McLaurin had another great game.
Scary Terry is freaking yesterday. Jesus.
Like he's just a stud, and that's what the fact that Carson Wentz just didn't know to like just keep throwing it to McLaurin.
Just keep going.
Wentz is probably a better QB than Taylor Heineke, but at least Heineke's like he's the meme. F it, like McLaurin's down there somewhere. Just throw him the ball.
Because why not?
I don't know. Like you got elite receivers like that. Just throw him the ball. So
I actually
just-
hope that's what it was. Like going out of the tunnel, just like, you have beautiful eyes. And it's like, no, your eyes are more beautiful.
I respect you so much. No, I respect you.
Like,
You're good.
I'm gonna invite your parents over for dinner.
Let's retire at the same time so we can go into the Hall of Fame together. Oh,
That's what I imagine it was.
Mm.
That's what I imagine. So yeah, Raiders got absolutely demolished and shut out. Can we talk about this Panthers
Mhm.
Falcons game? Because
yeah, I want to talk about it.
I'm invested.
Well, yeah, you got the
of the NFC South, and I should have streamed this game because it was phenomenal.
it's insane.
It just PJ Walker, by the way, like Patrick Mahomes even retweeted and said like this might be the throw of the year. That touchdown dime in double coverage to DJ Moore in the waning seconds of regulation. Damn. Like that was impressive as hell. Like that was really cool to watch. And you have to root for PJ Walker, right? Like it's just
hell
it's such an awesome story, and it's just like, hey, go out and like crush it. And again, 1936, 317, 1 tutty, 1 interception. You know, they leaned on the run game a lot, but DJ Moore, man, like this is why they're not going to trade him. He's like got 152 yards.
Yeah.
He's been like his favorite target.
Really good receivers are harder to replace than running backs, and the Panthers are showing you that right now. And Christian McCaffrey is insane.
The trifecta.
He's insanely talented, but they got 3 rushing touchdowns at a Dante Foreman. It's back-to-back really solid games for Foreman.
Yeah.
I think he's had exactly 118 rushing yards in both games. Let me see this real quick. Let me just confirm. Where are you at?
Foreman was on the Titans last year, yeah?
Yeah, 118. He had 3 touchdowns. Yeah, because he came in, and after Derrick Henry got hurt,
Yep.
It took like a couple weeks before they really learned to like lean on him, but he was playing very well, and I thought it was a little surprising that they let him go, didn't try to bring him back. Derrick Henry goes off for 200 yesterday, so
Yeah.
you know the Titans are fine, but the Panthers got that out of him. That's another nice story. And then yes, PJ Walker, who was the XFL's best QB, and I believe XFL uniforms and teams and something's all being announced today. Gets a shot back in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
beating out Baker Mayfield, the number 1 pick in the draft, beating out Sam Darnold, the number 3 pick in the draft. And it just goes to show you we don't know crap about quarterbacks coming out of college.
No.
But yes, so the end of this game, right? You just talked about how insane that throw is. And then DJ Moore takes his helmet off outside of the end zone. He is on the white line of the end zone, gets flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct, pushes. This is what I don't get, though. If you're forced to choose between kicking a 48-yard field goal with Eddie Pinheiro or going for 2 when you got a lot of things working for you on offense, even if that's a further shot, I'm probably just going to go for 2.
DJ Moore's out there somewhere.
Yeah, DJ Moore, you're getting a lot out of Foreman. I don't know. I get why you go for it there, but they missed the extra point. They got to go into overtime. They have chances to win in overtime. They don't.
Eddie just
Falcons get the win, but everybody's like dumping on DJ Moore for taking his helmet off, which I get. You're not supposed to take your helmet off on the football field. That's a safety thing. But I do not think taking your helmet off immediately after making probably the best play of your life, and you do it while you're technically off the field of play, should be. I just don't think that should be a penalty in the NFL. Even if he took his helmet off on the field, I don't think it should be a penalty.
They changed it a few years ago.
Yeah, the reason they don't want guys doing that is if there's some sort of fight on the field and then they don't have their helmet on, they're not protected. It's just a bizarre, stupid rule, and it cost the Panthers a game. But do the Panthers even want to win? That's the real question.
I literally asked that yesterday. But Eddie needs to also hit those kicks too, because they had multiple chances to win. I mean, like that defense got a pick in overtime. Like they lined him up, and it was
because he missed a shorter field goal in OT, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he missed it. And so like that comes down to him. But yeah, they just kept panning to a sad DJ Moore. So,
Yeah.
but I think it was just fascinating to watch because like there was, I think it was 34 points scored in that fourth quarter alone. And like that's wild. So like they just like went back and forth. And neither of these teams are like really good. But the Panthers have looked better after trading away arguably one of their best players in CMC, who had a great day yesterday. The Falcons have been one of the more surprising teams this season. I know we've talked about it a ton on this show about how you and I both thought like they were going to be like one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL. And they have been playing tough every single. I'm happy for the Falcons.
Yeah.
So I was like, good on you guys. Like you're leading your division because you're at 500.
Yeah, that was the nice thing about that game. No matter who won or lost, they would be atop the division.
Correct. And I love the chaos so much.
Oh my
I
God.
love
The
it
fact that the Bucks aren't just running away with the division when it appears to be the weakest it's been. Turns out it's actually just it's gritty. It's a gritty division right now. And the Saints might be getting back in the mix too after what they did to the Raiders. The Saints leaning on Andy Dalton. It's like, I mean, think about the quarterbacks there. Andy Dalton, Marcus Mariota, PJ Walker, and Tom Brady. Who's the best quarterback in that division? I don't fucking know, Tom. That's how crazy football is. Pardon my French, but I don't know.
That's amazing.
Sometimes it's Brady. Sometimes it's PJ Walker. Sometimes it's Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's best game, he threw 3 picks too. It's
yes.
And I'm happy Marcus Mariota's getting a shot. Like, and he's not great, but they've found a brand of football that wins. And guess what it is? It's running a lot.
Yeah.
It's running a lot.
And they don't even have Cordero Patterson.
No, they'll get him back. Tyler Algier had a touchdown in that game. Maybe more. I don't know. But it's fun. It's fun to see like a bunch of underdogs succeed. And that's like Geno Smith with the Seahawks.
Yep.
I love that he's doing well. PJ Walker, love it. Mariota getting a shot, love it. Andy Dalton, I don't really care, but you know, Red Rifle having a little success late. I'll take it. It's like, and then you think about Stafford's not playing well. So let's get into quarterbacks because the draft with Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Tua is starting to look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And Herbert's taking a little criticism now, but he's been playing through an injury. Tua, he throws 3 touchdowns. It's against the Lions, but him and the Dolphins look solid. Joe Burrow's
Lions played them tough too. Oh my God, so many penalties, dude. That game was for a Tide commercial. Like there were so many penalties, flags, laundry everywhere.
Yeah. But now we're watching Zach Wilson, not good. Watching Trevor Lawrence, not good. Mac Jones, not really good. Justin Fields actually starting to look better than all of those guys, so that's nice.
Last 2 weeks, he's been good.
Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts was in the same draft with Tua and those guys, right? Was that the same?
He's like a really young guy. You're like, yeah, he's looking okay.
Was that a year later, or was he Herbert year? I think that was the same year. Because Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he's 2020.
Was he 2020?
Second round of the 2020 NFL draft. Oh God.
Wow.
That makes me.
So he came after all of those guys.
That's the Jordan Love draft.
Wow. So 2020. So it was after.
Cool.
Dang. Anyway, my point is, I don't trust any of these. Kenny Pickett doesn't look good. We saw Malik Willis go in. They only let him throw 10 times. Fair. Derrick Henry's going to run for 200. That's fair. Sam Ehlinger, he was efficient. He might have had the best efficiency, and they still lose. I just we get these draft classes where there's these insanely talented QBs, and you expect that every year. And it's just not true.
No.
You're lucky if you get one really good quarterback in a draft.
Yep.
Like one trend, like 2, you're like, that's an all-time draft class. And we're kind of seeing the lull of it. And it's not to say that Mac Jones can't be good, that Trevor Lawrence can't be good, that any of these guys can't be good. It's just more of they need time to develop, and sports fans are not patient for it. They're not patient at all. And I don't even know who to bet on in terms of having success long-term out of those guys. Right now, I would kind of lean towards Justin Fields because
they're finally catering to him. Like,
Yeah.
and again, while the tackling is not so great because he's jumping over Micah Parsons and allowing him to pick the ball up and run it back for a touchdown. Like, yeah, no, like the past 2 weeks, the offense of the Bears has been impressive because they're like, wait a minute, we have a mobile QB. Maybe we should utilize that in the game plan a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
And it's, I mean, Fields, he there's a play in that the Micah Parsons touchdown. You know, he avoids some pressure, dumps it off to David Montgomery. It was like a nice play by Fields, not like nothing crazy, but and then Montgomery fumbles, and Justin Fields hops over Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons goes the other way for the touchdown because he's not touched. And it's another one of those things where everybody's just like, oh my God, Justin Fields didn't know to touch him. Why didn't he touch him? It's like, well, why? Like, the real problem is David Montgomery fumbled on the play. That was the big gaffe.
sure.
But, you know, after that, it felt like, you know, the Cowboys just ran away with that game. But it was a close game until a point. And then everything stopped working for the Bears. And we saw Dak Prescott get that Cowboys offense going. We saw the Cowboys offense look really good without Zeke Elliott. We saw Tony Pollard get the workload, and it's like, what we've been saying for the last 2 years is Pollard might be the better running back. And now Dallas looks legit. I'm sure Scooter's excited about that because we've just been waiting to see their offense have a game in addition to their defense. And they did it against the Bears, who have had a very good defense this season. Not perfect, but they've been keeping them in games. So,
Yeah. I mean, listen, they beat the crap out of the Patriots last week. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of young QBs, like you mentioned this last week about Zach Wilson.
Yeah. 3 picks in that game. The Jets, man.
And they're missing AVT. Like they have some injuries, obviously. Like they are a run first team, like good defense. That's their bread and butter, but oof.
Yeah, he's not good. And the Patriots were gifted a win because Mac Jones throws a pick 6 and the Jets get flagged for roughing the passer and it comes back. And it was like one of the flags where I'm like, okay, I see why they threw that for roughing the passer. Sure. I don't even want that play to be it, but after that, nothing went right for the Jets. And my takeaway was both Mac Jones and Zach Wilson don't look very good. But, you know, Mac played efficiently after the game, after that point. And I thought had that call not been flipped because of roughing, Jets probably beat the Patriots. But they don't. They're still leading the Patriots in that division.
And that's the thing, too. You look at, like, offensive lines. I mean, because I think Wilson was sacked maybe 2 times. Like, Mac Jones was sacked 6 times in that game.
Yeah.
So, because I think just the D-line and the defense of the Jets they're good.
Well, the difference is Zach Wilson, he knows how to get out of pressure. Like, he's slippery. If he can figure out how to make plays after avoiding sacks, he could be pretty good. But yeah, and that's not part of Mac Jones' game. You know, Mac Jones is not a mobile, elusive guy. So there are going to be games where he does take 6 sacks, and it's just because he's not getting elite protection or getting rid of the ball quickly.
Yeah. So that looks a bit rough. But you're talking about Tua before. The Dolphins and the Lions kind of have a back and forth game. They had a battle. Miami. The problem with Detroit is like, hey, we're doing pretty well. Like first half, it's like being kept really close, and then they're like, yeah, they don't score for the entire second half.
Nope.
Their defense collapses, and they allowed 14 in the third quarter. And so just that was the game. Like the Dolphins didn't even really need to do much after that. But it was still impressive. Like they played a good Dolphins team. And again, dude, like I'm telling you, the amount of penalties, not that were even just accepted, the amount that were declined, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Lions. Let me see if I can. How many? The Broncos had 10 penalties in the first half.
Nice. Packers had 8 yesterday.
Yeah, that's something that definitely falls on coaching, but
Yes.
it's also like, and I don't want to be the officiating is so annoying, so stupid. There was one drive. There's 4 penalties, I believe, that set up the Jags for a touchdown. And luckily, Trevor Lawrence did a boner and threw it right to Justin Simmons. Just on the 1 yard line, fresh set of downs, and they throw. So it didn't end up hurting the Broncos. I was like, the Jags are being gifted a touchdown here.
Yeah.
All right, let me see the team stats. Dolphins, let's see. Oh, must have been a lot of non-accepted penalties. 7
There were a
and
lot.
6.
No, there were a lot.
Okay, but the Lions, yeah, they scored 27 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the first time they've done that since 2013, and it's been the deal with the Lions all year. They just don't know how to close out games. I think.
It's like one half of the ball plays well, and then the other one just doesn't.
Yeah. I think and I like Aaron Glenn. I think they're going to have to evaluate defensive coordinator after the season because their defense is not playing well. It seems like, maybe this next draft, it's more defensive pieces. I don't know what they need to do on defense. They got Swift back, but he didn't play much. Did he get re-injured in that game, or were they just trying to
do that?
I don't know.
Jamal Williams, though.
What's that? Yeah.
Miss Jamal Williams.
Man, it's hard because A.J. Dillon had a nice season last year, but should have kept Jamal Williams.
Why? We wouldn't utilize him anyway.
Yeah, he just brings that.
Oh, he's a locker room guy too. Like he's a good runner, and he's also a locker room guy.
Brings that extra thing to the backfield. Okay, so they limited Swift, but you saw how much better the Lions offense could be with Amon-Ra St. Brown back there again, even though, TJ Hawkinson has a game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Next clickbait punishment. You just wait, Tom. You just wait.
Great. Can't wait.
But yeah, man, it sucks to see the Lions not win when their offense is actually playing well. But Miami Dolphins got something going. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, that is as advertised. That's one of those things where this is going to be a really good duo before the season. And yes, correct, accurate, it's happening. Yeah. Mike Gesicki gets a touchdown in that game as well.
But wait a minute, all those sources said that he was going to get traded.
Nope, don't do it.
Sorry. Sources.
Two is good.
Yes.
That's my take. 2 is good.
2 is good. Speaking of the NFC North, you had the Cardinals and the Vikings. I picked the Vikings
too.
What'd you say?
So that game was silly too.
Yeah, it was. They had no run game, the Cardinals, against Minnesota whatsoever. Kirk Cousins played well again, unfortunately. But Dalvin Cook, they had 173 rushing yards. Justin Jefferson is a monster. But
Kirk Cousins, I didn't know he could run that fast.
He can run. He can.
That was an Alex Smith run. Except I've only seen Cousins do it once his entire life.
Just I gotta go. He's like, I got all this Coles cash. I gotta spend it before the end of the month.
I'll go to Coles with you, Kirk. I'll go to Coles with you.
Yeah, the Cardinals are not good. They're not good. Zadarius Smith has been the best pickup for the Minnesota Vikings. He keeps on making plays, which makes me feel really good on the inside.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, you don't have Zadarius Smith. The Broncos could have tried to bring Von Miller back after this season. They didn't. And don't give me the Broncos are getting great production out of their edge players, but Von's still one of the best in the league at his position. I would love if he were a Bronco right now. So I know what it's like, but I'm glad he's helping the Bills because Buffalo all the way.
I'm not glad Za'Darius is helping the Vikings. I'm not content about that.
No, that's a division rival. That's hard.
No, that's not happening.
Like if
Not
Vaughn were on the Chiefs right now, I would probably just quit football. I would quit watching.
It's like I'm done. Buffalo all the way this time. Let's talk about the Steelers and the Eagles. There's so much to talk about for this particular game too. Eagles, they came out. AJ Brown had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Jalen Hurts had 4 touchdowns through the air, which was great. They had over 100 rushing yards too. Yeah, AJ Brown finished with six catches, 156 yards, which is an average of 26 yards a reception and 3 tutties.
Half of his receptions were touchdowns.
Like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. And the defense, 6 sacks on Kenny Pickett. And again, their offensive line is horrendous, but Kenny Pickett also looked bad. And it's a perfect storm. And I said this about Najee Harris. You can only bang your head against the wall so many times. And I don't think Najee Harris is a bad running back. I think he's a solid running back. He's just caught behind a god-awful offensive line, and he's not going to be able to shine because of it. So it doesn't matter if you have Trubisky back there. It doesn't matter if you have Kenny Pickett back there. It's just, it's ugly. It's
Kenny Pickett had more rushing yards than Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Harris he only had 8 carries for 32, Pickett 7 for 37, and Jalen Warren led the team with 50 rushing yards. Young quarterback, if you can't run the ball to help them, it is hard for them to learn. So, like, I'm all about, like, playing your rookie QBs. Like, I like the trial by fire, but it seems like Mitch Trubisky would be the better play for the Steelers. I don't know. I guess both of them are, like, Kenny Pickett's mobile, so you can still get rushing yards out of him. But it feels like he maybe should wait until you can protect him. I don't know. The Eagles are good. Like, we knew, I knew the Steelers didn't have a chance in this game. And Philly, I think we'll see what Robert Quinn kind of means to their defense next week. But they've done it in multiple ways. And kind of the knock on Philly was like, we need to see another big passing game out of Jalen Hurts. Well, you got one. He was incredibly efficient. 4 touchdown passes on 19 completions for, I don't know, 250-ish, 280, 283, 285, somewhere in there. So the Eagles can beat you so many ways. And
they're going to be a problem.
They're undefeated for a good reason.
Not good. And in a very, very bad conference. I just think it's really funny, like, the year that the Eagles are doing so well, like, their division is, like, arguably the best in football.
Yeah.
The Giants lost yesterday, but the Commanders, they had a comeback win. Which that just speaks really poorly on the Colts. Like, listen, guys, I've been there. We lost last week. But yeah, the Colts are something else. We'll talk about that in a hot second. But Giants losing to the Seahawks, they just couldn't establish the run. I streamed that whole game, and neither team really established the run well. But Geno Smith was efficient. There was one drive late in the game where they just tore him up and they just moved the ball, and all they did was throw the ball over that Giants defense. So Giants, like, there's people are like, oh, it's doom and gloom, season's over already. I'm like, listen, you're in the NFC and you're still the winning record. You're in the playoffs.
We saw, I think, both the Giants and the Jets lose, and it felt more like what we kind of thought their teams are in terms of, like, average teams, but they've been overperforming.
Yeah.
The Giants, though, is like they had I think 3 fumbles. They lose 2 fumbles. They basically cost themselves points on both of those fumbles.
And
that was the
both
difference.
Punt returns. They're both punt returns. Same guy. Like, yep.
That's 2 times. And when you're an average team, but you're overperforming, you can't make those mistakes. And right now, the Seahawks are just a football team that's not making those mistakes.
No.
Their defense is starting to play well. Probably their most impressive feat this season is just they held Saquon Barkley to like 50 yards, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like
he couldn't do anything.
I think Seattle was like one of the worst rush defenses heading into that game. I could be wrong. Let me look at that real quick.
But yeah, no, they looked real good. And again, they just looked like they're playing. And again, the beginning, like the first half, like there really wasn't a whole lot going on. Like it was just a defensive football game. And then as time went on, like the Seahawks just made less mistakes and they were able to move the ball a little bit more efficiently than the Giants.
Yeah, they're still bottom 5 rushing defense, as are the Giants are 5th worst. I think they were like 2nd worst maybe heading into that game. But if you can stop Saquon Barkley, you can shut other run games down, I think. So that's a positive thing moving forward for the Seahawks. I would be all in on Seattle probably running away with the division if we didn't see the emergence of Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers. I just want to watch Seattle and San Francisco play now in that division because the Rams ain't it. The Rams,
dude.
I've never seen a team with so much potential after a Super Bowl win where they kept their quarterback because the Broncos got the Super Bowl dub, but they lose Peyton Manning. It feels like the same as that, except Matthew Stafford's still there and nothing really works for them.
They didn't score a single point in the second half.
They're like the Lions.
Yeah. Aw, Stafford callback.
Stafford and Jared Goff tied
homesick
together forever.
Yeah, no, the Rams are not good. They're not.
And Deebo Samuel didn't play, right?
No, it was the CMC show. I did well too, but it was.
Think about that though,
dude. CMC and Deebo. Oh,
that will be a hot. Like if that team can get healthy and stay healthy on both sides of the ball, 49ers could be a real problem in the postseason in the NFC. Like they scare me way more than the Vikings. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If any team could beat the Eagles in the postseason right now, it's the 49ers. But yeah, McCaffrey and
just need to be consistent. Like that's been the issue with the 49ers. And like you look at what Jimmy G yesterday, like he didn't like do amazing things, but 21 for 25, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Like that's what you need. That's what you need out of Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need.
So doesn't need to be flashy. Just like that's how you win. The thing is, like the big play possibility is definitely more likely for the Eagles. And like that's I think was like kind of putting them over the top right now in a bad conference. So there's that. You had the Texans and the Titans. That was a game that occurred. Malik Willis only completed 6 passes, but he didn't have to do anything because you know what his game plan was? Here you go, Derrick Henry.
Boom.
Here you go, buddy. You go. Yeah, Henry's a monster. He constantly destroys the Texans. 219 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. 4 200-yard games against the Texans and 2 TDs. Like, it's a record.
Their leading receiver was Robert Woods, who had 2 catches for 26 yards. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
I avoided Titans receivers like the plague in fantasy this offseason, and that's why. That is why.
Yes, correct. So we had that, and I think that was, and then just Washington and the Colts. Ehlinger didn't play like god awful. He was 17 for 23. Had like over 200
He was efficient.
Yards.
He was
fine. You know, and it just JT 16 for 76.
He gets hurt again. He hurt his ankle again.
Yeah. So like that's been super disappointing.
He's having a rough year.
It seems like it's the Titans division, like that they're just gonna run away with it. But like I don't believe in them enough.
No,
because like they look meh too. So
they look like they could lose to the Bengals in the wild card round again.
Will it be divisional?
Division. Oh, that's right. They were first.
They were the number 1 seed. Like
I
right
keep
now, like,
forgetting
they're
that.
high up there. Like they're up there. I think they might.
They were first place in the AFC last year.
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, last year, the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
because the Packers were too, and they both got bounced in the divisional round. Anyway, but yeah, Commanders. Hey, all of a sudden they're at 4-4. They're at 4-4. The NFC Beast is here. It is here. So, And then tonight, Brandon Perna, you got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
The Battle of Ohio.
Yes. And on Halloween, too. Things are going to get spooky. The elf is going to come to life and murder somebody.
Ooh. Oh, my God. He might.
He's just going to rise from the field.
He's going to trip up Joe Burrow.
Yep. Just like, and then just go back under.
Yeah. I'm looking for the Bengals to blow out the Browns in this game. It is a division game, so it'll probably be closer. Jamar Chase not playing. Sorry about the curse. But I think the Bengals defense will feast. I don't know. The Browns, they're just not good, and they should be better. I know it's hard to win when your QB is Jacoby Brissett, and I like Jacoby. He's an efficient dude. He's an efficient ball player.
Mm-hmm.
But T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd probably going to have huge games. I'd like to see the Bengals, run it a lot with Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Run the piss out of the ball.
The defense has been inconsistent for the Browns. I think that's definitely been a disappointing part of their season because I thought their defense was going to be really good.
Yeah.
And then we'll see, buddy, because trade deadline. Clock is a-ticking.
It's awfully quiet right now.
It is. For the chaos, the Browns might win. Who knows? But I thought the chaos would help the Packers. It didn't. We tried.
Yeah. One of the bigger names in the trade rumors is Bradley Chubb. And
do you sell high?
No, it's tough because apparently the Jets and or the Dolphins are willing to give up a first rounder for Chubb.
And you need to recoup some draft capital. Because of the Wilson
if
trade.
we could get a first rounder, it's like you almost have to take that deal.
Who is it? The Dolphins and who?
Jets.
Oh, take it from the Jets.
I was just going to say, because they're going to probably lose some games, and you got a mid-first round pick probably at some point here. Maybe pick 18 from the Jets. I'll take. And, Chubb on that Jets defense, that front will be nasty. And a big reason the Broncos are having success with their edge rushers is because their secondary's been so good.
Yes.
Like, Surtain's locking dudes down. K'Wan Williams had just a great game against the Jags. And that's the same story with the Jets. You got Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed back there. Chubb could go and play off the edge there and feast. And he's playing really well. That's what sucks. It's like, and he's staying healthy. So, but Nick Bonito comes in. He played decent on the other side. That was their third round draft pick, their first pick.
I love that
draft.
pick.
And they've got Baron Browning who's hurt. They got Gregory who should be back soon. They can get by without Chubb even this season. I'll take a first if that's legit.
But then are you going to have to spend that first on another edge rusher?
No, that's the thing. Baron Browning, Nick Bonito, Randy Gregory. You've got 3 solid edge rushers, I think.
So you can draft a quarterback.
No. We draft offensive line. We take the best available guard or tackle.
You do.
That's what Russell Wilson really needs, and that's what the running game really needs.
Agreed.
And Russ, like the first quarter was atrocious for the Broncos offense. Like I was dead inside. And I've said that several times this year, but I think I meant it. Russ still makes plays though. His throw with 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter to KJ Hamler was a 47-yard friggin' dime down the field. He had another deep throw to Greg Dulcich. He actually saw some guys open in the middle of the field. Like he still got it. It's just, it's been the mental part of the game. It's been a lot of things not working. And I think if you improve the offensive line and if the run game's like a threat, he's a really good quarterback for the Broncos. That's just not happening this season. I think it's like survive this season, get some confidence for Russ, and it's like, I know the narrative is he sucks, but he's made plays outside of the game before he got hurt, he was making a couple plays every game. We're like, okay, he can throw. He's got a great arm still.
Sure.
Just not consistent. So I actually feel a lot better about Russ right now than I did last week and the week before. The same way you feel better about the Packers. I'm not saying he's going to go off this season and have like an amazing, but like Greg Dulcich, man, I was joking that he might fix the offense. He might fix the offense. Anyway.
Was it KJ Hamler who ran up to Russ after that? Like, that was like nice to
he
see.
needed that. Russ needed that.
It was so funny too because he was like, oh, "Thank you."
Yeah. I don't think he knows how to take like legit praise.
I don't know. Yeah, he might just not know how to talk to people.
Yeah, he just might be awkward.
Maybe he's socially awkward.
Yeah, fair enough.
He does high knees on the airplane.
Dang right, baby.
Now what, Justin Tucker?
I'm a little pissed that the Broncos haven't put out a social video of the whole team doing high knees on the plane.
Dude, like it's a missed opportunity.
Like their social team needs to step it up. Like that's how you win back the friggin' haters. Like make fun of yourself. And then people are like, oh, okay. They cool. That's what they say. They cool. Shannon Sharp, they cool. Kyle Brandt, they cool. Rich Eisen was the only one to be like, okay, I think we've piled enough on Russ for a while, guys.
We're done now.
We've done it. We've taken it to the limit. I do have to eat more Danger Witch today, though. That is confirmed. That's been a tough punishment. And the sandwich is good, but like
every day,
fitting it in every day when I have like a pretty regimented sort of routine. I do not like this. So that was, you guys nailed it. You nailed the punishment, Tom.
All right.
How much of your every player reacts do you have written and done?
None.
I mean, every team. Sorry.
None.
You gonna get a nap in before you do that?
I have. No, I'm going to put...
Power wash your brain.
I have an idea. I'm going to put out a Halloween short for the NFL today. Then I have to do every fans. I'm going to record 30 out of the 32 before the game tonight, streaming at 8 o'clock, then putting out every fan's reaction, and then I'm going to record rankings and predictions. So,
you crazy, man.
What about you, buddy? It's just another manic Monday.
Yeah, I got best and worst of NFL Sunday. Going to do as I do every Monday. And then I think we're going to squeeze in, hopefully tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, a Zach Wilson video. And then, of course, if there's a big trade, I'll have to bang that out.
That's the issue. Like, we have to be like literally glued to.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for those trades. All right, folks. Well, we appreciate you watching. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, GPS 11 a.m.
Nope. Actually, Jess has been picking up all my Danger Witches.
They're just like, wow, she just really likes the Danger Witch.
Yeah.
Really likes.
I'm too busy to leave the house.
I know that life. Oh. Perna's a robot. Perna's a robot. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated. It's Halloween. Get spooky.
Your destination. Boo.